Breaking news, NASA says an asteroid might hit Earth in 2032. That's right, 2032. But don't worry, they've crunched the numbers and says it has a terrifying 2% chance of striking Earth. Oh no, I guess we better start building our bunkers now, right? But here's how this really works. Step 1, NASA stirs up fear with the giant space rock threat. Step 2, the media starts blasting scientists warn of catastrophic impact headlines. Step 3, NASA conveniently secures more government funding. Step 4, the asteroid just barely misses us in the end. What a relief! Let's be real, 2%, that's like flipping a coin and hoping that it lands on its edge. But sure, let's all panic for the next 8 years. I believe in the Bible, which says the Earth is fixed and unmovable, with no rogue asteroids spiraling out of control. I believe the firmament is real. It's a solid barrier. Nothing is breaking through it. Not asteroids, not meteors, and not even NASA's budget inflation. And stars aren't giant flaming space rocks flying through an infinite vacuum. They're lights circling above us in the firmament around Polaris, exactly where God placed them. So if nothing can get through the firmament, exactly what are we supposed to be dodging here? A CGI space rock? Speaking of dodging, those should take a look at NASA's budget. They've got some explaining to do. Quick way to save billions upon billions. Another fake space scare to keep people distracted. Don't fall for it. Put your faith in Christ and not NASA's sci-fi scripts.
What do you say we check out the book of Genesis? There we go. The first book of Moses, called Genesis, written 4,004 years before Christ. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the water, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and gathered together the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth.
So the other night, I'm sitting on the back patio and I'm talking to my husband and we looking at the moon, right? And I just start noticing like how bright it was, because where we are now is super dark in the back and we can see the stars and the moon. It's beautiful. And a lot of you know that I had the opportunity to teach 4th grade math and science this past school year. And in these books, they wanted us to teach the students that the moon is a reflection of the sun. And this is what a lot of people believe, because even if you were to look it up, it says that the moon is a reflection of the sun. Then it really got me thinking, like, why do we believe that as Christians? Now, if you're not a Christian and you don't believe in the Bible cosmology, this video is not for you. This video is for Christians who latch on to what society tells us and don't check it by reading your Bible. The Bible tells us in Genesis that the Most High created two lights, one to rule the day and one to rule the night. It never talked about that the moon was a reflection of the sun, ever. It was always the sun, the moon, and the stars. That was it. Then it got me thinking about how we all believe that the earth is also a sphere that rotates millions of times or thousands of miles per hour. I don't really know, because I don't believe that cosmology. I believe what the Bible says. And y'all know who popped up? Aristotle. Why are we listening to Aristotle? When Aristotle was a known pagan and atheist, he hated the God of the Bible. So why would we take knowledge that he has imparted into this society and we would actually run with it? And it's in direct contradiction to the scriptures. Make it make sense. So this is why a lot of people like me will come on here and say that I can tell that you have not read the Bible, or that you just maybe heard a story at church and then you let it go and you never went back, because when you actually read the words, how could anybody else come up with anything else different? So this is a call for action. You all need to go back and read. Start in Genesis. I'm reading Genesis with my children now, and we're gonna go chapter by chapter, and we're just gonna read it. And just know that the Most High has never changed. Never changed.
Here's something I bet you didn't learn at church on Sunday. Did you know that the Bible tells us that the earth is flat and has a firmament? In order to talk about this, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heavens, remember that word for later, and the earth. That word for heavens is shamayim. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." Thus God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. Now the word for firmament means an extended surface, a solid, an expanse, firmament, an expanse, flat as the base and support, firmament, a vault of heaven supporting the waters above, considered by Hebrews as solid and supporting the waters above. And the Strong's tells us that it's an expanse, the firmament, or apparently visible arch of the sky, the firmament. Now it says that he called the firmament heaven. And remember, in verse 1, or where we were at up above, it said that it was heavens, plural. Okay, so heaven, let's look at that word. Shemayim. It's the same word as up above when we were in the previous verse. And the Strong's describes this word as meaning from an unused root, meaning to be lofty, the sky, alluding to the visible arch in which the clouds move, as well as the higher ether where the celestial bodies revolve. So most people think that it would look something like this. Here's your earth, sun, moon, stars, and a firmament. In the book of Job, it says it takes on form like clay under a seal and stands out like a garment. So what does that mean, clay under a seal? Well, this is what it would look like. So you have like the round seal, but it has like this edge around it. And here's another example. And then here it says, "Heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool." Anybody ever wonder why they called Yah the Most High God? It's because he sits in the Most High firmament. And again, that word for heaven is Shemayim. Now this is from the book of Isaiah. It says, "It is he who sits above the circle of the earth." Circle. Circle. A lot of people will say that this means a globe. But no, it doesn't. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. Let's go look at this word circle. Okay, so this word here means circle, circuit, compass, the vault of the heavens. Compass. Okay? And look, so I know the top got cut off, so we can't really look at the word, right? But we can look at the root word. This is what the root word is. This is what it looks like in the Hebrew. And this right here is what it looks like. This is like the number for the Hebrew word in the concordance. Now, Isaiah knew the difference between a ball, a globe, and a circle. Okay? This is the word from a different verse in Isaiah, where he talks about how Yah is going to ball up his enemies like a ball. And this is the word that he used. Completely different word than the circle and compass word that we just talked about. Ball. Circle. This would mean like a ball or a globe. The other one was like the circle of a compass. Different. But did you know that there's also other things out there that can prove to us that the Earth is not what we're told that it is by NASA, science, school? For instance, this book here, I bought it, and it has so many pages full of experiments that you can recreate on your own, that you can test over and over and over again with cameras and different things like that to prove that the Earth is not what we're told that it is. And some of these things can actually prove that it's probably more flat than like globular. But that's not all the information I have. So NASA, if you go and click on this, go search for this and click on it, this is the first page, and this is just to show you that this is what I'm telling you that it is. If you go click on that link, this is what's going to come up. And then you scroll down to page 7. It says that this is a report that details the development of the linear model of a rigid aircraft of constant mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Y'all, NASA is using, in their calculations, like models, okay? They are using calculations of a flat, non-rotating Earth. And they're making and publishing whole reports on this. That's not all. Did you know that every picture that we see of Earth, the sun, the moon, other planets, all of these things that come from NASA that they publish and say that they're pictures of, right? Did you know that all of those come from computers? The computers collect data, and then the computer creates an image, or an artist at NASA creates that image? We don't actually have a picture of Earth or the sun or the moon from, like, how they show us that it is. That's not actually a real picture. That is a computer generated image. CGI. Now, you guys can go and look up all this information, but these are good starting points if you want to look into it. But you're probably asking, well, why would they lie to us and tell us that, the Earth is this globe that's like spinning out in space, and all of this? Why would they tell us that instead of telling us that, the Earth is flat with firmaments over top? Because if they can lie to you about the creation and where you live, they can get you to doubt the Creator who created it. So, has your church taught you this?
I always thought this clip of Apollo 17 was interesting. This is from 1972, the last time anyone has set foot on the moon. But I have a couple questions here. First, what's all that colorful, sparkly stuff that pops out? I don't recall seeing that anywhere ever. Then another question, if the two astronauts are on that, who is taking this footage? The mysteries of the moon landing we may never understand.
Anyway, we're still talking about the Apollo mission. I need to clarify some stuff. So I asked the Google, I said, hey, what kind of food did they have on the Apollo missions, right? And so there it tells you it's all freeze-dried, blah, 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 right? And here's the meals. There's chicken, rice, beef hash, beef gravy, lobster bisque, tuna, beef, pot roast, ham, salad. And here are the assortment of fucking snaps. There's basically a mini bar on this space mission. But hold on a second. And so I said, well, what did they eat? And they gave me a list and stuff. But I went down. And it says, what was Neil Armstrong's favorite Space food, spaghetti and meat sauce. Do you see spaghetti and meat sauce in the meal plan? Where is that? Neil's favorite thing was spaghetti and meat sauce, and it's not even on the menu. You gotta get your story straight. There you have it. Another episode of They Never Knew That the Internet Was Going to Be This Powerful in 1969. Look at this photo. And look at the back of this one. Look, it's got the same curves, the same panels. Go have a look for yourself. There you have it.
Watch an astronaut in space, okay? This is how they protect themselves from the outer space vacuum, you know, because it's very dangerous. You have to protect your air inside the spaceship. Oh, look at the lid, okay? The lid is so sturdy. It's so strong. Huh? That's gonna protect the vacuum, the air from escaping. Huh? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's so ridiculous. How can people believe this? Oh my god.
The Truman Show wasn't a metaphor, my dear boy. It was an analogy to hide the world's true anatomy. Depicted as fictitious, but in all actuality, synonymous with reality. Follow Dr. Fiction.
There's something in the center of the earth that's magnetic. That's why compasses work on a flat earth. They only work on a level plane because they're drawn to the center. Something is magnetic in the center. That's how they work. It's the Alexander Gleason map of 1892. You come over here to 1569. This is the Mercator. This is a projection. This is a blown up projection of the North Pole. Back then, they knew that there was a black magnetic rock sitting right in the center of the North Pole. They called it Rupus Nigra. These maps were not fictional. They didn't make this stuff up. They worked really hard on documenting this stuff. This is the Urbano Montes map, 1587. It's the same time, 1569, 1587. They worked hard on this stuff. This is the earliest accepted map of the world. Come over here, 1892, Gleason, everything's frozen. We can't see anything. We can't see the four rivers that go to the center. Same thing here, he's got the four rivers, right? And then how do you get a north center and a south exterior? Like if the Earth was a ring magnet, let's say, let's follow those lines. Let's see what it looks like if it was a ring magnet. There you go. What would that look like? Look what it does. That's ferrofluid on a ring magnet. Look at the center. Look at Rupus Nigra right in the middle of that. Look at the shape that this makes, and look at the shape of the land masses on these maps. That's just wild. That's just wild.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Mitri to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.